I want a crispy edge, I want a gooey center, and I want a chewy cookie, and I want my cookie to taste like cookie. With that being said, let's go ahead and bake. So I decided to bake the Dominique Unsold chocolate chip cookies, and these cookies are actually surprisingly simple. I definitely believe that these cookies are going to taste unique because these cookies do not feature any vanilla extract. None at all, y'all. I was so shocked to see that. I was like, am I reading the recipe right? I can't be. Dominique is going to start with 190 grams of unsalted butter. He wants his butter to be a very loose texture and consistency because this recipe only requires you to use a spatula and a whisk. You literally need no other tools. So he wants you to have a butter consistency that you can work with very easily. So I'm happy to see that. Like I said, I want a really simple recipe, and I think this is gonna be the recipe for me, you guys. So Dominique uses a nice equal proportion of light brown sugar to white sugar. So I know that these cookies are gonna have a very balanced texture, which I really appreciate. Stir our sugars with the butter until they're well combined. So I think that's pretty well combined. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my eggs, which is the next step. 2 large eggs, and of course I'm adding these at room temperature. I'm just going to stir these in. This is what it's looking like. Looking all smooth and stuff. Kind of like wet sand. So this recipe wants us to use just all-purpose flour. So like I said, super simple to make, no fancy ingredients. It also wants us to use salt. Dominique doesn't specify the type of salt that he wants us to use. So in this case, I just use kosher salt. You can probably just use regular table salt if you want. I'm sure it's fine. And then also, this is a baking soda only recipe. So I love a recipe that does not feature baking powder. I only have semi-sweet chocolate right now. To show you guys the actual chocolate that I'm using this Guittard semi-sweet chocolate baking wafers. I love these, you guys. These are the best of both worlds because these allow us to get the meltiness of chocolate bars, but the convenience of chocolate chips. What it's looking like. I am a stickler to not blend all the flour in until after I add my chocolate chips. 1/8 sheet cookie. I'm just going to scoop these out. Let me know if you've tried these before. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to do a taste test.
Okay, so after letting these sit in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour, went ahead and pulled them out, and I smashed them down because that's what Dominique said to do, and so that's what I did. And then I took a little picture, and then I put them in the oven at 350. Now, these say to cook for 9 minutes, but baby, 9 minutes was not enough. I had to leave these bad boys in there for at least 15 minutes. It was probably closer to 16 or 17 minutes. These cookies were buttery, pillowy, not that chewy, but also you don't have a lot of time for gluten to form. But these are the best 30-minute chocolate chip cookies I've ever tried. Give these a try, y'all.